I think what's funny about mental health, right, is like, and I've said this before. One of the things I notice I do when I'm talking is like, I'll have a thought that I start saying, and I'm doing it right now. But then another thought comes in, and I need to interrupt myself and like say what that is before I finish my first thought. But one of the things I think is funny about mental health, back on track, is it kind of goes like up and down, right? So, last month I felt like I was really going through it. And this month, I mean, I know it's only the beginning of December, but like the end of November started to feel better. And then so far, the beginning of December has felt pretty good as well. This is my tropical beach resort island, by the way, I have been working on. We have a lot of things here, so if you want a little sneak preview of the island as I run through it, pay attention. Things have started to feel pretty good, and I've said this a few times. Like one of my goals for this year was I wanted to find like a new good job. Um, that being said, right? Oh my god, that is so cute. Um, I don't think I'm gonna hit that. I've said this before. I don't think I'm gonna hit that this year, but I have had an opportunity that does feel very promising. I don't want to get my hopes up too much, but I'm feeling extremely good about it. I don't think I would start in 2024. I think it would probably be 2025 at the earliest. But I'm feeling super excited about that. And it's so funny that like those little things, right? That's just like nothing's even changed in my life yet. Like nothing has. There's hasn't been any like functional differences, but like that like one little bit of like I don't know, hope I guess is the right word. Where I'm just like, oh yeah, like suddenly I just feel like in a much better mood. Like things feel like more promising. Um, one of the, I, it's hard to say like symptom, right? I don't know, but like I guess like one of the symptoms of depression isn't like a sadness, right? It's like it's more like a hopelessness, right? Um, so it's interesting to like I don't know. I am on medication for that. And it's interesting to like kind of notice and feel in real time like changes, like things feel like less hopeless. And it's just like so weird. Like it's just so weird. Right? Like I don't know. Things haven't functionally changed at all for me. But I'm just like, okay, yeah, like I don't know. I feel better all of a sudden. Like again, there has been no real changes in my life at all since I last made a video like this. So it's just like so funny to me sometimes. Like I just feel like very good. And I hope to like keep writing that for a bit. It's I don't know, it's good. It's good. It's interesting. I'm also like I'm trying to figure out what my goals for 2025 are. So I've said them a bunch of times here before, but for this past year, I wanted to get a new job, which is obviously going to be, regardless of how any of this other stuff goes, even if I do get this job and I start like in January, it's still going to be one of my goals for the year was, to get that. And then I'll just have marked it off. Perfect. I obviously always have like content growth goals. I need to get into the specifics for that for myself, but I always want to grow like my community. And this past year, again, I've felt very lucky and thankful for everyone who has watched and enjoyed my videos and hangs out with me in Discord or in my chat when I'm streaming. It really means so much to me. And I hope that we can keep growing and keep making new friends and all of that in 2025. My biggest my biggest goal for the year that I am for sure not going to hit, and again, it comes down to just like not feeling mentally prepared for it. I'm hoping that in 2025 will be better because it's again going to be going onto my list of goals. Is you know finally get my driver's license. Maybe next year will actually be the year. I was hoping that this would be the year, but as the days dwindle away and I have not gotten behind the wheel of a car since at all this year. But I did get my permit in January. And I'm like, all right, I'm excited about it. So I made that step. I will need to pay and take the test for my permit again, which is a little bit annoying, but whatever. It's the step I need to take. I had 365 days to, well, it hasn't been quite that long yet, but 330 something days to do it, and I didn't. So, I guess that's the price I have to pay for that. So I started running this year as well. And I've been getting healthier. I haven't lost any weight, which was not ever a goal, but it's just funny that I feel like I've been running for like 10 months now and I'm the same weight, if not heavier, than I was. I don't know. Maybe it's just as I've lost fat, I've gained muscle. I don't really know. But my goal was to get a below 70 BPM resting heart rate, which I actually have not quite done. My sleeping heart rate is lower than that, but it always has been. My sleeping heart rate has gone down, but like my resting, just like sitting around heart rate is still like 76, which is better, way better than it was at the beginning of the year. So I am still trying to do that, but I also, for this next year, this is one that I'm like for sure set on. I have not set all my goals for 2025. I haven't set all my like intentions and stuff, but for sure, I know I want to run a half marathon. I don't necessarily mean like run an official race or something. I would just like to do the distance at least once and like not feel completely like gone afterwards. Like I could still potentially do stuff afterwards because it's a long distance. 13.1 miles is far. It's a lot, especially for me. So that's like a big goal up there, and I think that I can achieve it this year because I have been getting healthier, like more fit, and it's been really cool to see that progress. And I think that this next year I can at least run that distance. But I haven't really said anything else yet. I mean, I feel like I'm recycling a lot of goals just because I didn't hit these goals this past year, which part of me is like a little bit upset about. But like again, that's also just like life, right? I was super gung ho about being able to like try to get my driver's license, but like the thought of like getting behind the wheel of a car is still like pretty daunting to me. So I was like, I can't. If I physically feel like I'm not capable of doing it, I'm not going to try to push myself into an uncomfortable situation, which I think is more important than trying to just like achieve a goal. Right? So yeah, I'd say things are feeling good right now. I think I'm always personally a little happier near the end of the year, like Christmas time, which is interesting because like I've always loved Christmas. But there has, at least as an adult, always been like a little bit of a like stress because like again, I've never really been able to like afford getting like gifts for people. This year I have I can't say them. Just in case anybody I know in real life is watching, I can't reveal what I will be doing for presents this year. But I've now gotten a little bit distracted with that. I was gonna just like say it out loud and realized I couldn't. But I don't know. It's always interesting because like to me, I feel like the way that like I don't know. Like Christmas is a very stressful time for a lot of people. Either it's like family stuff or like not being able to like get stuff for like your loved ones, and like that feeling like stressful and like maybe some guilt around that. I don't know why, for me personally, having also like dealing with those things, Christmas always just feels good to me. And I don't know what it is, but like something in the air to me just feels like happier in my own life. I don't know how this is for other people, but I'm always just like a little bit more excited. And maybe it's because like the end of the year is like when I can start to like think about, or not when I can start, but when I start thinking about the things that I'm going to be doing in the next year and like my plans and the things that I'd like to try to get done. So there's like a lot of hope in that. And it kind of just makes me happier. I also just love Christmas carols. I remember I was one time, I was in my sculpture class just listening to music. Um, this was like not during class time. It was like just like studio time. And I was just like working on something, but I was alone at first. And then I started listening to Christmas carols just on my own. And of course, this is like during like spring. So I don't know, it would probably been like April or something. And somebody comes in, they're like, "Are you listening to Christmas music?" I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "I'm sorry, can you not?" I was the only one person in there at the time. I would have changed the music if they asked. Like, I would probably have put headphones in pretty quickly once they like were setting up in there as well. But like they came in and heard the Christmas carols. I, it's just so funny to me that they're like, "You're listening to Christmas music in April?" And like, I don't know. I listen to Christmas music year round. I love it. Like this part of the year is just like my favorite. Uh, Again, I would have changed my music if anybody like I wouldn't have listened out loud. I think that's like so rude. I don't want to subject people to my music if they don't like it. But yeah, thanks for watching.